All right, people, let's talk about Josh Duggar. He is a creep. But the problem is, it's not just him that's a creep. We're going to kind of deep dive into this, and you're going to find that the system that they were living in, working with, is jacked up. Okay? Not just a little jacked up, but massively jacked up. There were so many opportunities to either get him help or put him away that just weren't taken. It's disgusting. So let's get into this. Also, before we start, I want to say that this is my first YouTube video. So, yes, there's going to be issues and there's going to be problems because I don't know how to edit really. So, we're going to experiment and you're going to be my guinea pigs. So, buckle up and let's get going. All right. So, in May 2015, In Touch Weekly put out a story that exposed the situation where he inappropriately touched his sisters. So it's the M word. But I'm pretty sure that that is not allowed on YouTube. So I'm not going to say it. And if I accidentally say it, I will have to edit it out. And which means my editing will come to play. All right. So let's take a peek. I'm going to kind of read it, the general gist off of Wikipedia. All right, so let's get into it. On May 21st, 2015, a report by magazine In Touch Weekly stated that Jim Bob Duggar had told the Arkansas State Police that Josh Duggar inappropriately touched 5 underage girls between 2002 and 2003 when he was 14 and 15. The magazine's source of information was a redacted police report obtained via a Freedom of Information Act request. Arkansas Judge Stacy Zimmerman ordered the original police report destroyed and the public record expunged on the same day the article was released. That's convenient, right? The police report indicated that 4 of the 5 M victims were Duggar's siblings. Jim Bob Duggar reported that he had learned in March 2002 that Josh had touched the inappropriate regions of his sisters on multiple occasions while they were sleeping. Jim, Bob, and Michelle stated they were made aware of the incidents when he confessed and also stated that at the time the girls were unaware of the beat had occurred. Jim Bob said that Josh was disciplined at home. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of torn about that. It's just such a heinous crime, but also, what are they gonna do? Give me any ideas. We would want to say, get him help immediately, lock him up in some facility where he can be away from kids while he's, I don't know, getting rehabbed or whatever. In March 2003, Duggar's parents learned of additional incidents and victims, including the touching of a babysitter reaching under the dress of a young sister who was in his lap, and cornering a sister in the laundry room to reach under her clothing. Now that's okay, so not only is he a pervert, but he's a predatory pervert, which is scarier. The sisters were touched inappropriately while they were sleeping. They're unconscious. He's cornering, them in the laundry room, reaching under their clothes. It's just almost like where nowhere in their home was safe from him. At this time, Duggar's father brought the issue to the elders of their church. Jim Bob Duggar informed police that he had enrolled Josh in a program consisting of counseling, physical labor, and consulting with his church leadership. Michelle Duggar stated that he was sent away from home for a period of 3 months to work for a family friend who was remodeling and building. Later reports suggest that Josh Duggar may have been sent to a facility in Little Rock owned by the Institute in Basic Life Principles, a Christian ministry and training program founded by Bill Gothard, a Duggar family friend. It has not been established that the Institute and Basic Life Principles Center in Little Rock was open for counseling during that time. or if the building was being renovated during the time period and he was assisting with the renovation. When Josh Duggar returned home in July 2003, his father took him to meet James W. Hutchins, an Arkansas state trooper and family acquaintance. According to Josh and his parents, the meeting was the first time any law enforcement authority was made aware of sexual abuse. According to Jim Bob, Josh admitted to Hutchins that he had committed inappropriate actions and apologized. Sorry, I got stuff happening around me. Oh, speaking via a lawyer, Hutchins disputed part of the account, saying that he was only told of the single act of incestuous, inappropriate touching, and that he would have responded differently if he had known of additional instances and victims. In an interview following the statement, Jim Bob claimed Hutchins was told the entire story. However, let's face it, you're going to find out here in a second, Hutchins is not, a stellar person anyway. So, Hutchins did not take any official action, but reportedly gave Josh a stern talk. Arkansas law states that law enforcement officers are mandated reporters and are required to alert the Arkansas Child Abuse Hotline when learning of S abuse. Hutchins was later arrested and convicted on unrelated charges of child inappropriate pictures and is serving a 56-year prison sentence. Okay, so basically it's like a club there, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and alert a state trooper. However, the state trooper is just as bad as the person talking to him. So yeah, I'm sure the stern talking to was effective. In 2004 and 2006, the first 4 TV specials featuring the Duggar family was released. In December 2006, the family was scheduled to appear on the Oprah Winfrey Show. At this time, an anonymous source emailed Winfrey's Harpo Studios and called the Arkansas Child Abuse Hotline to reveal Duggar's past misconduct. Winfrey's producers alerted the Department of Human Services and canceled the Duggar family's appearance on the show. So at least somebody eventually is going to take it serious. So that's good. But let's see what happens. As a result of these reports, an investigation by the Springdale, Arkansas Police Department was launched. Department investigators spoke to Duggar's parents and several other family members, with the family describing the misconduct that occurred in 2002 and 2003. The family reported that no further incidents had occurred since Josh returned home in late 2003. Family members interviewed by the police said that they felt safe in their home and had forgiven Josh for his past behavior. According to Arkansas law, child abuse charges for offenses must be filed within 3 years of being reported to a police officer to be within the statute of limitations. Because of the family's earlier contact with Hutchins, the statute had started at the time of the contact and had run out by the time of the 2006 investigation. As a result, no charges could be filed. Okay, so let's talk about this tiny window, the statute of limitations. So it's becoming apparent to me that protection of children is not high on most legislatures' lists. Yeah, they talk a good game, but really if you look at it, 3 years. So say this kid is 4. This kid has 3 years. So until they're 7 to tell somebody. Realistically, that's not even feasible. So that's kind of gross. The police report of the 2006 investigation was the same report obtained in 2015 by In Touch Weekly. After initial reporting on the redacted police report, an unidentified victim who was reportedly still a minor requested that any remaining products of the investigation be destroyed. Judge Stacy Zimmerman granted this request to protect the unidentified victim's privacy. Though Josh Duggar's misconduct was largely unknown to the public before 2015, a blogger writing in 2007 and identified only as Alice referred to the canceled Oprah Winfrey Show appearance and stated that show staffers had been told he was a child inappropriate toucher. The allegation circulated online for years but was not publicly corroborated until the In Touch Weekly's article revealed the police report. Josh Duggar resigned his position at the Family Research Council on May 21st, 2015, after his history of misconduct as a minor became public. He stated that he acted inexcusably as a teen and was deeply sorry for what he called his wrongdoings. In response to his resignation, FRC President Tony Perkins stated Josh believes that the situation will make it difficult for him to be effective in his current work. We believe this is the best decision for Josh and his family at this time. We will be praying for everyone involved. Now, what's funny here is he has called himself and his family, Christian conservatives. Oh, the epitome of conservative values, and advocates for what he terms family-centered and conservative Christian right political viewpoints, including opposition to abortion, divorce, and gay marriage. Josh Duggar has also been referred to as an anti-gay activist. Okay, so let's throw stones at people just trying to live their life. Okay, so being gay and divorcing is not okay. But, touching your sisters inappropriately, that's fine. Or, as we're going to hear about here in a little bit, looking at, child pornography is okay too. So let's throw stones at normal people just living their life, trying to get through as best as they can, making personal decisions for themselves. And let's throw stones at them, but let's go ahead and be a complete dirtbag on the side. Okay, Alright, so according to Trace Gallagher of Fox News, the Arkansas Freedom of Information Act states that the records of a juvenile shall remain confidential and shall not be subject to disclosure under the FOI. Arkansas State Senator Bart Hester said the law to protect minors' identities is not a suggestion and called for Springdale Police Chief Kathy O'Kelly, who released the records, to be fired, saying that O'Kelly re-victimized the girls. Springdale City Attorney Ernst Cate defended the release of the records, saying that while Josh Duggar was a minor at the time of the alleged incidents, he was 18 in 2006 when the police report was filed. He also added that under the circumstances, the records could be released once minors' names, as well as any potentially identifying pronouns, were redacted. Zimmerman ordered all copies of the report destroyed on May 21st, 2015. On June 5th, 2015, Josh Duggar's sisters, Jessa and Jill, gave an interview to Megyn Kelly on Fox News Channel's The Kelly File, discussing the inappropriate actions and the report's release. Jessa called Duggar's actions as a teen very wrong and stated, "I do want to speak up in his defense against people who are calling him a Chester or R word, as some people are saying." She went on to say that so overboard and alive. Really, I mean, people get mad at me for saying that, but I can say this because I was one of the victims. She said the system was set up to protect kids. It's greatly failed. Well, not only that, but her parents failed. And that the week preceding the interview had been 1,000 times worse for us than the abuse. Jill called the release of the police reports a re-victimization. It's just, I guess it's a hard situation. I feel bad for the victims. And Josh just seems to be getting off scot-free each time. On August 20th, 2015, following one of the online posting and information from the Ashley Madison data breach, which included records of credit card transactions under his name, Duggar and his parents released a statement on the family website in which he admitted to watching the P word, ography, on the internet and being unfaithful to his wife. So really, let's once again throw stones at divorcees and gay people, but we're going to go ahead and cheat on his wife and judge everybody else. Okay, fair enough. According to the material obtained in the data breach, Duggar's credit card was used to pay $986. Now, I'm not sure how many kids he had at the time, but right now he has 6 and with a 7th on the way. Maybe you need to be saving your money to put the kids through college. Um, but the 2 Ashley Madison subscriptions starting February 2013 were canceled May 2015. Of course, as soon as everybody found out that he touched his sisters and other people inappropriately, not even people who are going to cheat are going to want to cheat with you. Shortly after the allegation surfaced, the statement contained the following: I've been the biggest hypocrite ever. Yes, you have. While espousing faith and family values, I have secretly over the last several years been viewing pornography on the internet, and this has become a secret addiction, and I became unfaithful to my wife. The last few years, while publicly stating I was fighting against immorality in our country, I was hiding my own personal failures. Yeah, you're being a big hypocrite. So anybody who wants to stand up and say that they're perfect and they don't give anybody any leeway for their imperfections, this is what happens. On August 25th, 2015, Duggar checked himself into a rehab facility and his family described as long-term treatment. The facility was later confirmed in media reports as Reformers Unanimous, which describes itself as a learning atmosphere where the addicted can be disciplined in an environment that is much like a greenhouse. Okay. So, so at this point, imperfections just keep, snowballing. You think which that is Josh Duggar's dirty laundry because he's so quick to and hate that he can't get any worse because he's obviously a miserable, sorry, my hair's driving me crazy, human being. As it is, his poor wife, okay, yeah, so she's thinking he is addicted to pee, he's cheated, he had issues growing up with his sisters and other young girls, and she's gonna stick by him, help him with his issues. He goes to rehab. Let's put the bad past behind us, right? Well, no, not right, because he just keeps digging a hole for himself. So in May is a big month for him, apparently. 2019, Josh Duggar gets busted with child pee. So now we're combining, his addiction to peeography and his kitty touching behavior. We're just going to combine it. So now he has child pee on his computer. Not just his personal computer, his work computer. So he was supposed to be arraigned and start trial July of this year, 2021. But now it's been postponed till November. All right, so his wife's still hanging in there with him because I don't even know. They're against divorce. That's all I got is a shake my head. So a story just came out that a friend of the Duggars, Jim Bob's, once again, shake my head, Jim Bob, and his friends, Maria and LeCount Reber. Jim Bob asked them to basically be Josh Duggar's guardians because while he's awaiting trial and all of this, instead of locking him up, keeping him away from kids, he once again gets it easy and he's out on his own with these 2 people as his guardians. So originally it was said that the Rebers were happy to help, but it turns out that they were very hesitant, as any of us would be. I personally would say, no thank you. You can keep your creepy ass over there. But get this. So Maria said she was worried about being around Josh alone. Well, yeah. But, she's an adult, so maybe she doesn't have as much to worry about. But her 22-year-old daughter teaches piano lessons at Maria's house. And she teaches piano lessons to kids. Are you really telling me that you are having kids over your house with a person who is waiting trial for having child pornography on his work computer? You're serious right now. That's really what's happening. So, and it was the child P was of toddlers and young children. Just it just doesn't stop. And so the family's also annoyed because Anna Duggar, whatever, his wife, who you would think would say, okay, I'll stay married to you just because you're probably going to be in prison for the rest of your life. Hopefully, if the justice system in Arkansas doesn't completely tank it. She has unofficially moved in to Maria and LaCourt's home. Okay, so now she's shown up. Maria says she is not sure of who's watching the Duggar children. Now, the trial was supposed to be in July, like I said earlier. So Maria and LaCourt were thinking that, that their trial was or their tribulations, I suppose, with Josh being in their home, was going to be over in July. But now it has been pushed back to November 2021. So now they get to have this known offender, hanging out in their home until November. So, Anna is expecting their seventh child. I can see if she stayed married because, like she said, she originally thought that all of their bad times were issues of the past. That, Josh was going to reform, that his issues were going to get taken care of. He's going to get the help that she thought he needed. But then now we have the situation coming up where it's new charges of current offensive activity and she's just still hanging in there. And I don't understand if or how she can look at her children and think that this is a good environment for them to grow up in or to live in, knowing their dad looks at images of kids in that way. So, I mean, that's on her, but if for whatever reason he doesn't end up in jail or he gets acquitted or he gets to go back home while they're young, I think the state should really look into that and see if that's a good environment for them to grow up in or even a safe environment. But it's not my call. I have no say. All I can do is shake my head. Well, thank you for riding this out with me for my first time, and I will get better. I'm learning. So hopefully you liked it. Hit subscribe, and hopefully talk to you later. Bye.